All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, you guys? Let's give it a few minutes. Let's give it some time. We'll get some people in here. No one's used to doing the morning streams, so or I guess the lunchtime streams, since it's like 12 o'clock. But let's give it a few minutes. We'll get some people in here, man. Get a super chat goal going. We're gonna do like a 2-hour stream, maybe. And then we'll go from there. How about that UFC fight, man? How about the UFC White House event? What do they call it? Was it called a UFC Freedom or something like that? What was the actual name of the event? Oh, that sucks. That sucks. It was like White House UFC Freedom event or something. I don't know, something like that. I thought freedom was in the name. What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? Y'all coming in here. I love to see it, man. We still here. We still rocking. Freedom 250. Is that what it was called? All I know is it was a great time, man. It was a fantastic time. I enjoyed every second of it. I stayed up all night watching the whole thing. I'm sure you guys did too. My wife and my son did too. They stayed up until like the very last fight, which was, I mean, the last fight was, holy shit. The last fight was amazing. I mean, the whole thing was amazing, but you know, recently there was a I forget what it was called. I don't know. It was like the Ronda Rousey came out and fought some other chick. You know, that was the I don't think it was UFC, but it was like some new event on Netflix. And I watched that and I was like, yeah, all right, this is cool. Let's get into it. And it just ended up terrible. It was a whole disappointment, right? Some of the fights were okay, and then, you know, the last fight with Ronda Rousey and whatever her name was, it was a terrible fight. It was just over in 17 seconds. It was stupid. It was pointless. Shouldn't even have bothered watching it that weekend, you know? But this one, man, it's like every fight just kept getting better and better and better. And then at the end, the last fight, I mean, what a way to end the show. It was a great time, man. It was a great show. I loved every second of it. And then, yeah, Trump. Bro, this dude stayed up and they want to talk about him being sleepy and falling asleep. This is Trump. This is the left sees Trump. You know, that's how the left sees Trump right now. And this dude stayed up until 1 a.m, partying with everybody. And then he got on a plane and went to France. He got what? He got on a plane. He got on a plane. He got on a flight and went to France. This dude is a machine. You can't stop the man. You don't. I pray that he's worrying about his health. You know, guys like Trump, they don't want to sleep. They don't want to waste time sleeping. They, you know, when they lay down, they think in their head, "Oh my God, what opportunities am I missing? What are we not accomplishing right now? You know, what are we not accomplishing right now?" And so they struggle to sleep at night. And I'm this way too. I go to sleep sometimes. I'm just like, man, maybe I should just get up and work on some more videos, or maybe I should go ahead and edit that show we just did right now before I go to sleep. Sometimes I'll be up till 2 or 3 in the morning just working on videos and stuff. And then I wake up at like 6 or 7 and try to get back to work again, do research and see what's going on in the world to get ready for the next show. I just don't, I hate sleeping. I just feel like I wish there was more hours in the day. I wish there was a way for us not to sleep so we can just get some more work in. But is it Monday? It is Monday, huh? I don't even know what day it is, man. Now that my son's not in school, it's like every day just kind of blends into each other. What's up, Cellulite Podcast, man? What's going on, brother? Did you enjoy the show last night? Did you enjoy that? Did you watch it? Or were you out there working? I was watching your show the other night talking about Carmelo Anthony and the parents and all that stuff. And yeah. I wonder, are you going to talk about Charleston White? I didn't have Carmelo Anthony or any of that stuff on the show today, but just to touch on that, if you guys haven't seen, you said you was working late. Oh, well, there you go, man. There you go. I'm at the UFC show, not my show. I wasn't working. I was watching the show. I was just having fun with the family. If you guys haven't heard, Charleston White, he basically, here, I think I could pull it up actually. Straight up. Yeah, here we go.
I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy.
So Charleston White, he raised money. I think they said he raised $1 million in a day, privately and independently, and he was going to give that money to the parents so they can have a strong appeal, like they can spend the money on getting an appeal to win the case, to have the case overturned or whatever. Well, Charleston White went over here and met with the family, and his eyes were open finally. He realized that this ain't nothing more than a BLM scam. Okay? This is what Charleston said when he went over here to meet with the father.
I'm off the Carmelo Anthony case. I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy. His daddy too goddamn weak for me. I don't like a weak nigga. His dad ain't willing to die, kill, or go to jail for nothing. That nigga just wants some bills paid. Carmelo, my heart go out to you if you ever see this video one day. Nigga, I'd rather stand with the Jeff Metcalf nigga than I would with Carmelo. Nigga is weak, docile, and subservient. I ain't standing with no weak-ass black.
Weak, docile, and subservient. I've been telling you guys that from the beginning, man. I mean, look. The mother was the face of this whole thing. I thought this dude right here, I thought this dude was like a son or a brother, another one of the kids or something. And I thought the dad was just nowhere to be found. And I was like, oh, that's the dad? Why ain't he speaking up? Well, how come he's not speaking up? It's always the women that come out, and they're the ones being the face of all this. They're the ones who cry better. The dad just sits there, with his hands in front of him, just kind of with his head down, like, yeah. Just silent, exactly like I said, docile, subservient. But we all know, I mean, come on. I mean, these people got up and didn't even they didn't even stand with their son who had to deal with witness statements, or victim statements, right? They heard, oh, he guilty? Okay, let's go get that press conference going. They got up and they left. Carmelo's still in the courtroom, getting sentenced, still in the courtroom. The victims have their statements and they speak to Carmelo directly. And what happens? The parents are gone. They're nowhere to be found. They left. They got up, did the little press conference, got in their $100,000 Escalade, and they got the hell up out of there. They got the hell up out of there, man. It's just another BL. This is the hustle. And I hate to see this, because you got black men, young black boys, their lives are ruined. It's over for them. And then you got all these BLM vultures coming and picking at them. Just gnawing at their leftovers, whatever's left of their life, whatever little highlight they got. These vultures come in there and they just start picking at them, eating everything up. And then when they're done with them, they say, all right, here you go, throw them in jail. We don't need them anymore. But now the parents are still asking for money. So Charleston White raised $1 million, all right? And instead of hiring a good attorney, because they hire this BLM attorney, not even a good attorney, just a BLM, just a race baiting attorney, right? He's not even a good attorney. He's just someone that can turn this thing into a racial problem. He could turn Carmelo Anthony's life, and the ending of his life, into a racial political thing, right? To make it a fiasco. Well, Charleston White wasn't having that. He finally realized it and is like, okay, never mind. Fuck all this. I'm out. So now he's taking the money back. I think he's going to give it back to the donors. I don't know what they're going to do. But what they were saying to him is that they're going to spend a little bit of the money. They're going to spend a little bit of that money to give to the lawyer, right? And it's going to be the same lawyer. And they're not even going to get a new team. They were just going to give it to the same lawyer. And then they were going to keep the rest of the million for themselves. Man, get the hell out of here. So I'm glad Charleston White had a wake-up call, because at first he wasn't on Carmelo Anthony's side. And then the case happened. He said, okay, I'm going to do something about this. Because if y'all know anything about Charleston White, he advocates for the black community. He advocates for young men that go to jail. Young black men that go to jail. Okay? And so he was trying to help him out, trying to save him, and saying, look, man, there is another way out. You can find a way out. You could change your life and fix it for the better. That's the kind of mentality Charleston White has. But he came over here, spoke to them, and he realized real quick that this is just a BLM scam. They were just looking for a payday. They tossed their son away, gave up their son because they wanted a payday. And I showed y'all that interview they had the other day, right? They were up there. The parents, imagine this. The parents go on an interview the day after Carmelo Anthony's sentence, right? And you see them laughing and smiling and yeah, she spewed a little bit of fake tears or whatever. But then they were talking about us. They're like, yeah, but we are dealing with death threats. And then they pulled the phone out. Conveniently, somebody called them and then, I guess gave them some sort of harassment call or whatever. Very convenient that happened during the interview they were having. And then right after that, they were smiling, they were laughing. It was all cute and giggles. I was saying, man, like, if my son just lost his life like this, there's no way you can get me on an interview and I'm not devastated. Well, first of all, you ain't going to get me on an interview anyways. But I need time to cope. I need to be alone with my family, because our whole family just got... Man, these motherfuckers didn't care. They said, where the spotlight at? Where the money at, man? Where the money at, man? So, it's just ridiculous, man. But, I don't really care too much for Charleston White either. I've watched him for a long time, for a couple years. I know his whole story, snitching on his homeboys after they killed somebody a long time ago. He did a little bit of time, but he's out and he's living his life. I kind of agree with some of the things he does. Right? Charleston's a grifter. You have no respect for him. I've listened to interviews with him. I don't know how to... Charleston is a weird person. He wants to play the character of being an extremely ghetto hood dude, right? But I think in his heart he has some good things he's fighting for. But then his character on social media is like he says, like, I'm just playing a character. He's just playing a hood dude on social media. And yeah. It kind of throws everything off. So it's hard to take him seriously. It's hard to trust him or anything he's going after. But like he says, he's advocating for young black boys are getting locked up. Because look, some way, somehow, you got to fix that. You got to fix that, the hood culture. And it's not even just black people. It's white people. It's Mexican, especially Mexican folks. I mean, my God, man, I grew up around a bunch of hood Mexican dudes and women, and they're just as bad. It ain't the color of your skin. It's the culture you indulge in. And unfortunately for the black community, because of the Democrat Party stuffing them in ghettos, You know, they force the ghetto culture on the black community, and they're stuck that way. They think it's normalized. They think that's their culture that they came up with, and that's what they embrace. No, it was a culture given to them. Hood Mexicans, yeah, of course. Hood white boys too. Where I grew up, it was like it didn't matter. Everyone was hood. Everyone was ghetto as hell. Broke mentality, broke mindset. Everyone trying to rip each other off. Everyone trying to, who cares who we hurt? Just make that money. But you know, that's hood culture, and that's just what Democrat parties do, man. They want you guys stuffed in those hoods and those ghetto areas, and they could teach you, they could turn you into these monsters, trying to get you locked up. But anyways, man, let's go ahead and get on with the show. All right, we got to get on with the show. Pinky Steve over there on X is fuming. His vagina's hurt. He says UFC masterpiece, bro. Are you high? It was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. No, it was fucking amazing. But the left, they're crying about it, man. They were crying. Y'all ready to get into it? Let's get into the show, bro. Let's get this thing going. Last night was a historic night, man. We had the UFC Freedom 250 over here at the White House. It was amazing. I enjoyed every second of it. It was beautiful. Seeing them come through the White House to be out, it was so patriotic. It was so beautiful. Thousands of people showed. I think they said 80,000 people showed up to be outside just for the watch party. In DC, where it's like mostly blue area, blue district, whatever you want to call it. It's like the fact that you had that many conservatives coming out was just beautiful, man. It was fantastic, and I enjoyed every second of it. Some of these pictures are just historic. I mean, look at that picture right there, man. That shit is beautiful. That shit is beautiful. We had Mark Zuckerberg there, which, you know, listen, Mark Zuck, you zucked the hell out of me when I was on Facebook because maybe I said something about January 6th, or maybe I said something slightly political on the right, and they said, "Nah, you getting banned." I haven't had Facebook in years. I'm never gonna get Facebook again. So don't think we forgot Zuck getting zucked. But then, man, listen, Donald Trump came out looking sharp, looking dapper, looking fresh. Melania was looking beautiful. Our president and the first lady were looking so good, man. They came in, and I was worried. Listen, when you have events like this, I was worried that maybe there will be some blunders. Maybe there will be something that goes wrong here and there. You know, you never know, especially when we hear assassination attempts. There's so many assassination attempts on Donald Trump. I was worried, man. I was so fucking worried, but it went off perfectly. The whole event was perfect from beginning to end. I would say there was one slight blunder, if you can even call it that. All right. But it was historic. It was fantastic. It was Donald Trump's 80th birthday. It was just beautiful, man. Fireworks were crazy. The light show was crazy. Everything about it. I can't say enough good things about it. You know, the fights were awesome. It's like every fight kept getting better and better and better. And then the main event was just like on the edge of your seat, kind of like, is this dude that's all beat to hell, is he actually going to pull through and win? And the other guy was saying that, the other guy was saying, well, I'm going to go into this. I know I'm going to lose. This guy right here on the screen, I believe, Justin Gaethje, I guess how you say that. He was like, I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose, but, you know, I'm going to go out there fighting. And he whooped so much ass, man. I don't know how his face wasn't bloodied. He got whooped too, but he fought so hard. It was amazing. It was amazing. If you want to watch the whole event, you have to have Paramount Plus. But it was so worth it. I think you could just get a free trial with Paramount Plus and watch it and then cancel it. You could probably do that. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. Now, when I talk about one blunder, okay, it wasn't really a blunder because I enjoy the hell out of it. And you guys see this picture, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This dude right here, this guy came out after he just won his fight. They were asking him, like, you know, to talk about it. He said, yeah, that's cool, whatever. But guess what, guys? Michelle Obama is a man. Oh my God. On the mic, Donald Trump, I guess he just put his hands up. He said, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. But the Daily Mail is all like Trump's awkward reaction as fighter Josh Hokett yells vile Michelle Obama slur. Michelle Obama slur? Is that what we call it? I thought it was a misgendering. I'm sorry. At the White House UFC event. Yeah, he said Michelle Obama is a man and then walked off stage. Big Mike, all right? Big Mike wasn't having it. So she... Oh my God.
Michelle Obama is a man!
Oh, jeez. Now, why do I say this is a blunder? It's not really a blunder. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was great. In my house, we were like, oh shit, when he said that. Like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he said it. But I would have preferred it if he didn't say it. If I would just be honest with you guys. Because the left was out here, they were stewing, man. They were crying. They were posting listen, the left watched the whole thing from beginning to end. Okay, they watched the whole thing, and they were over here just taking any little nitpick they could just to try to post about it on X and say, oh, this is a huge blunder. This is a failure, a disgrace in the White House, right? They were talking so much shit. They were seething and coping at home. They were having the hardest times of their lives, even though they were enjoying it. They enjoyed every second of it too. And it made their rot pockets hurt when Donald Trump came up on the screen. Right. But, you know, he said that, and that just gives the left more ammo. They're going to disregard everything. They're going to just hate on everything, right? But they will disregard all the good points about it and how amazing it all was. And the fact that it didn't even cost us any money. It was all funded by the UFC himself, right? So people were out there saying, oh, this is taxpayer dollars. No, it was just UFC. They paid for all this. But it just gives them more ammo to talk about it. And I guess, you know, I wish we didn't go to that level, because we were at a very high non-political thing. It was just a huge event. It's very patriotic. There was no division. There was no division in this whole event except for the left trying to create some. But even later, they had a commercial near the end where they celebrated America as a whole, left and right. They celebrated Obama. They celebrated Bill Clinton. They went back to Democratic presidents. They went back to Republican presidents. Like, we were just celebrating the country as a whole, right? There was no division. It was just America in all of its beauty. Left, right, whatever. You can disregard all that. We were celebrating the country as a whole. But then he said that, and that brought that division back. You know, it brought the division back into the thing and turned it into, okay, well, I guess this is just a right-wing event. You know, if you would have not said that, this would have been a very clean-cut pro-America event without the division between the sides, in my opinion, because we were just focused on America. We weren't focused on Trump and Republicans. We weren't focused on Democrats. It was just the beauty of America and all we have built over 250 years, right? And yeah, I kind of wish it would have stayed that way. but you had that one thing in the middle, and I think that was just enough to kind of create that division and bring the division into the event. However, it was great, man. It was fan-fucking-tastic. I enjoyed it. But is it going to happen again?
It was an amazing experience. This was a one-of-one that will never happen again. And for all of us that were involved, from the fighters to my staff to the media to, you know, their families and everybody, it's just, this is was a unique, cool experience.
You don't think there's a chance the president says, that was good, let's do it again next year?
I can't afford it. There's no fucking way we can do this again. I'll never do the Sphere again, and we'll never do this again.
Yeah, the UFC TKO, they spent $60 million to get this done. But while we were all celebrating, while we were all having a great fucking time, just a great time with our family, enjoying everything about it, loving the country, filled with joy, patriotism, unity, love, the left, well, this is what they were doing, y'all.
Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Hey there, all you fascists. Let me put you straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate and you will lose. You fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose.
That's what they were doing. They were having a Fuck America event somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, and then they want to talk about, oh, what a disgrace. What a disgrace the UFC is. What a disgrace this is on America. Do y'all forget what the hell y'all just did to our beautiful white... Look at our White House held hostage back there. Look at it. Suffering. Disgraced. Look at it. Tortured slave. That's what it is.
Welcome to the White House.
Thank you.
Happy Pride Month.
Anyone else feeling sick to their stomach immediately?
Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life. Yeah! Transgender.
Oh. If that won the gayest yes I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is.
Children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You are understood.
You are loved.
And you belong.
Good boy, he had more energy that day than he ever had in his life. They stuck him up with the good drugs, got him some, they got him the good stuff to that day.
Bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known.
Man, get this shit off my screen. There's more to it. Y'all don't need to see it. It just goes on. It gets worse and worse and worse. Get this shit off my screen, please. Oh, I'm not even, listen, I'm not even going to play this one. Oh, I'm going to play it.
221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
God love you. God love you. God love you. God love you. Love you. And then the soy boys were out here. The soy was off the chart last night.
I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care if you're right or left. I don't care about any of that shit. If you think anything about this is cool or American or manly, I have to assume that much like anybody associated with the planning and the production of this event, all of the sponsors of this event, matter of fact, anybody that's even remotely associated with this event, much like all of them, you are so slow I could time you with a fucking calendar. Nothing about this is cool. Well, you just don't like it because you're a liberal, and liberal men aren't masculine. Listen here, shitbag. I lift every day. I've done boxing and...
Listen here, shitbag.
He needs some milk.
Man, get this boy his bottle. It's way past his bedtime. It's way past his bedtime. And we don't need to talk about all that. But man, listen. Amazing event. Went off spectacularly. I can't be more proud of our country. Last night, it was the whole thing. You know, instead of having like woke ads being played all throughout the thing, all it was pro-America ads. I was actually really excited for the next ad to come up. You know, I was excited about it. It's like the stuff I use for my outro videos, right? The clips I use and stuff like that. Which, listen, I'm gonna go through and find a bunch of new clips. I'm like, I gotta make a new outro, 100%. With those clips they dropped last night, I'm gonna go through and find them. I'm gonna make a new outro. But man, I just love my fucking country, man. I love my country. And last night, I think we all felt that love. We were all united by that love. While we're all being united by love, the left, they were being united by hate. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the state of our country as we know it right now. But beautiful, 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 man. I absolutely loved it. By the way, are we going to get some support for the show, man? No super chats yet? Nothing? Oh, we can at least get a couple super chats. Come on, y'all. I know we're having a good time. I know we're loving the show, but we still got to support the show, right? You know, you guys know I love you. You know, I'm going to be live tonight too. I'm going to be giving y'all all the content I can. We got to talk about Iran next. We got to talk about this deal, what it means for America. We got to talk about really important stuff. So I got it for you here. And of course, we're going to look at some riots. All right. Listen, the New York riots, we got to talk about that too. We got to talk about that too. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Did y'all spend all your money at the event last night? Y'all spend all your money over there? Oh my God. Beagle Mom. With the $50. Eagle Mom, thank you. You said how to everyone from Oklahoma City. Oh man, I had to fill my truck too. I know that, but you know what? It was a lot cheaper than it was a couple days ago. A Beagle Mom, thank you so much. I just have to give you another round of applause for that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Canadian Crystal, thank you for the $2. Or no, $5. I'm sorry, $5. B Brown, thank you for the sunshine. Iron Cowgirl, thank you for the flower. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. 386 where you're at. It was $3.41 yesterday, and then I got 70 cents off because I just bought groceries a few days ago. On top of the groceries I bought last week, so I got 70 cents off, and it was like $2.70 for gas. And I kept the receipts in the car too. But man, it just felt so nice to have cheaper gas prices. Which, by the way, you know, this is current right here, guys. This is current right here. $74 a barrel. Well, let's get into it, all right? Let's get into it. So this weekend, they confirmed that we have an agreement on a deal with Iran. And this is an agreement on a deal that only works out in our favor. People are making up lies about this deal because we don't even know what the deal actually is. But what we do know is that there's a guarantee that the Strait of Hormuz will be open, right? And I'm going to go through some of the things people are saying, and we're going to debunk all this nonsense right now, okay? But this is what we're saying right here, man. Now, these are just some of the things that may be in the deal. We don't have a solid answer yet. We haven't seen the actual paperwork yet, right? It's going to be signed this Friday on June 19th. There will be an actual public signing of this deal. But we do have an agreement right now. And you have to remember, this isn't just we sign a piece of paper and we walk away and everyone's happy. This is much different than that. This is an agreement that if before anything else, if Iran wants their money back that we're holding hostage, they have to comply with everything in this deal. Okay? They have to perform their end first, and then we'll release their money back to them. We're not giving them money. We're going to release their own money that we have held up in our allies' banks, and we will release that money back to them, okay? People are saying right now, oh, we're going to give them $30 billion. How was that America first? That's not what's happening at all. That's not what's happening at all. And the people saying that, you might as well just discredit them for the rest of their lives, because they're just lying to you. In a simple 5-minute worth of research can explain that all to you, okay? But key realities on the ground. We don't need to hear all that. Here, let's just go to this clip real quick.
Leading up to this deal
for oil to start flowing again, sending stocks soaring.
And we have team coverage for you this morning. We have Aisha Hasni. She is live in Geneva, Switzerland, with how this will impact the G7 summit. But first, we're going to start with Trey Yingst. He is live in Israel with the latest on this historic peace deal. Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. After more than 100 days in a state of war, a deal has been reached between the United States and Iran. President Trump taking to Truth Social overnight saying, quote, this great deal will bring peace and security to the whole region. Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all have failed before me. The leaders of the region have, for the first time, found a president who can help them achieve real peace. With the opening of the strait upon the signing of the deal on Friday, for purposes of mine removal, oil will flow on both ends again for the region and the world. A signing ceremony is set to take place on Friday in Geneva, Switzerland. Before the deal was signed, it was nearly derailed. The Israelis targeted Hezbollah with strikes in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. Iranian officials immediately vowed to respond with missile fire toward Israel. A diplomat with knowledge of the situation told Fox News that Qatari mediators stayed in Tehran conducting intensive negotiations coordinated with the United States. Vice President Vance described to Fox News what those final moments were like before the agreement was reached. Could you take us behind the scenes of what that moment was like leading up to this deal actually being signed?
After the Israelis struck Beirut, we were very worried, and we saw a lot of evidence that the Iranians were going to launch a large number of missiles at the Israelis. With our communication with them over the course of getting to this signed peace deal, they assured us that they were not going to respond to the Israelis, and they were going to sign this agreement and get to peace. Now, of course, you always have to verify these things, Trey, and we know that there are a lot of people in the Middle East who do not want to make this deal happen.
You always got to remember that, right? Even if the government does come to terms with us, they sign a deal and we say, okay, this is what we want to do, you're still going to have radical terrorists over there. And if they have access to the missile launchers, they're going to launch some damn missiles. Obviously, they don't care if they ruin the peace deals or not. There are people over there that just do not want the peace deal. And as long as they can hit that button, they're going to hit that damn button, right? So we always got to worry about that. However, the government is coming to terms with us, and they want to sign this peace deal. They want to be over and done with it, because the people over there in Iran are suffering immensely, right? Sarah, thank you for the 1776 on Cash App. I appreciate you on that. You said egg prices are down too. I don't know. I haven't even worried about, I don't even look at the price of eggs. I just pick them up and put them in the cart. Make sure they're not cracked. I just, is my channel okay? Yes, my channel's fine. As long as we don't use any BG's content, channel's all good. We're good. So, as long as we're done with the copyright strikes, everything is all right. But anyways, what was I just saying? So there's always that threat of, more missiles launching and some radical terrorists that live underground ruining everything for everybody. But the United States knows that. We all know that. That's why Donald Trump is a little bit lenient with a lot of this, right? He really wants this deal to take place. And even this morning, Donald Trump announced ships are starting to move, many loaded up with oil out of the Strait of Hormuz. They're going along the southern highway, which is totally safe. No mines over there. Even Donald Trump announced just last week that we had ships coming and going, and we were keeping it a secret, but then Iran caught on to it. Okay, they caught on to it, and that's why he's like, fuck it, I'll let y'all know. Yeah, we've been coming and going through the strait, and whatever, no one's been blown up, No one's been attacked. It's like they didn't even know that ships were going in and out. All right. So he's like, yeah, there are other areas of travel also. Everything's safe, secure, and pristine. All right. Now, if you look at the price of oil this morning, this is currently right now, right after noon. So it's $12.54 right now. $74 a barrel. Now, if you look back when this first started, right, the price of oil was in the 60s. It went up a little bit from the 50s back then in December, January. Then the conflict started. Everything shot up, right? And we even saw oil up there at 112. That was the highest. And then with all the news coming out, it kept going up, kept going down, kept going up, kept going down. And then this week, after we bombed the hell out of them, it dropped to like 80. And right now it's dropping to 74.59, and it's still going down. So right now it's like they love what they're hearing. The oil market loves what they're hearing. They know the supply is about to be unleashed, and we're about, look, it's just going up and down, but it's staying right where we want it, right? And we want to get back to the $60. We want to get back to the $50. I don't think it's going to go to 50. It'll probably stick around like 60 something or closer to 70. But just to see that it's having a real world impact and that our gas prices are going to be going down shortly, I cannot wait for it to happen, man. It's everyone's people are talking so much shit about this, you know, like this guy, right? He says, yeah, and we're going to be sending $300 billion to Iran while a lot of Americans are struggling. Where's America first? Well, first of all, dude, it's like we're not sending them anything. We're releasing their money that was held up in banks in our allied countries that we've been holding hostage as a bargaining chip. Now it's time to cash it in exchange for the Strait to be open while we make terms with a gun pointed at their head. You got to understand too, like they only get this if they comply with us. We still got the gun pointed right at their head. We still got it. Okay, we're not giving anything up, right? Because I think they have it here. Okay, so this is what they think is the proposed deal. Because again, we haven't seen it yet. They've been changing this a little bit here and there. Obviously, the resumption of traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, opening the Strait, and the U.S. blockade of Iran. Now, Donald Trump said he has revoked the blockade, so the blockade has been dispersed. Okay. And then they're going to say this, while this whole thing is underway, there's supposed to be a 60-day window to negotiate the nuclear enrichment and disposal of enriched uranium, right? So they're still going to be talking and trying to come up with a better deal in this 60-day window. But at the moment, we need the Strait open now. And that's why we have this deal. That's why it's so important. The one piece of leverage that Iran has on the world is the Strait of Hormuz. So we have taken that away from them, and we have promised we won't strike them anymore, but we're still going to be talking about this nuclear enrichment and disposal of enriched uranium during the 60-day window. So, and they know that if they fuck around and they don't comply, then we're just going to hit them again. Right? And now, if they comply, if everything is signed and they go to comply with everything we're asking, yes, they will get their money back that we have frozen. The money that we're holding hostage, we'll go ahead and give it back to them. It's only $30 billion. Yes, that'll help them a lot. It'll help them, but they have to spend money to regrow. They have to fix so many things that were destroyed by America. That's why they were trying to ask us to give them more money. Give them money so they can use it to rebuild and get ready for, for normal life again, or for fighting back again. I don't know. But now they're going to have to use their own money to do it. So we're pretty much saying like, yeah, here's your fucking money back. Clean yourself up. And it's like, okay, there it is. And then, of course, ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a terrorist group. They're a proxy of Iran, and they're in Lebanon, which is north of Israel. They've been hitting Israel. And so we put in this deal, supposedly, right? Because we don't have the full deal yet. We put in this deal that they will have a ceasefire. They won't attack Israel anymore. Meaning, if they do attack Israel, then they ain't getting their fucking money. And then we'll just keep on striking them. Again, we got the gun on their head, and they're trying to negotiate. And what do they get out of this? They just get their money back that we're holding hostage, and that's it. But they have to do everything on their side first before they get that money, right? Oh yeah, and this is another one. Fun fact, the Strait of Hormuz was open before Trump's stupid and costly war. We achieved nothing. Yeah, we achieved nothing, you guys. By the way, do y'all know anything about the JCPOA and what it actually was? Because people keep on saying, well, we already had a deal that was set up. We already had the JCPOA, thanks to Obama and all his glory, right? We already had that deal. Why did Donald Trump do this costly war in order to get the same damn deal that we already had set up? Because the deal with the JCPOA, that deal with Obama was a terrible deal. Not only that, but it sunsets after a while. And it was set to sunset in 2025. A lot of the things that were in the deal would no longer even apply to today right now. But speaking of which, there were so many flaws with the damn thing. Now, what was the deal? Under the deal, Iran agreed they would still enrich uranium, but only to a certain percentage. That means they had the capabilities to build a nuclear weapon, but we trusted them not to do it. And it only took I think they said a couple weeks to maybe a few months to actually go to the percentage they need for a actual nuclear weapon. All right. So we allowed them to get to the halfway point of developing a nuclear weapon. We also asked them to reduce their stockpile to 300 kilograms. Cut its number of operating centrifuges from 19,000 to 6,100. Convert the Fordo facility into a research site. Now remember, this is one of the facilities we bombed back in June last year. All right, because after the JCPOA was done away with Donald Trump, they said, okay, yeah, we're not using this as a research site. Instead, we are turning it into an enrichment facility, which they did. And we knew where it was at, and we blew it to hell. Okay, so they were probably already doing that in secret, to be honest with you. Redesign the ARAC reactor so it cannot easily produce weapon-grade plutonium. Access extensive inspections. Now, the inspections, right? This was conducted by the International Atomic Energy Agency. And what do they get in return? International banking, oil exports, trade investment, frozen overseas assets. Kind of like what we're giving them right now. Their own assets, giving them back to them. But then we also gave them all these other things, you know? Now, why did Trump withdraw it? Well, the number one reason really is because it didn't solidify that they could not have a nuclear weapon, right? They could still build it. They had all the capabilities of doing it, and they had access to everything they needed to get it done, but we were supposed to trust them, right? We were supposed to trust them not to do it. And on top of that, many of the restrictions on the deal was scheduled to expire after 10 to 15 years. Now, the deal was set in, I believe, 2015. So some of those things were already set to expire in 2025, meaning they would not even be around right now if the deal was in place, right? Trump argued the deal merely delayed Iran's nuclear capabilities rather than eliminating them. Now, this is the difference between the JCPOA and what Donald Trump is doing now, because he wants a permanent fix, right? It takes a long time to build facilities. It takes a long time to gather the plutonium and do all that stuff. It takes a long time to enrich the uranium. And so if you make sure that you stop them at the very front of everything, right? When the moment they start building this facility, you go in there and inspect it, and you make sure that they're not even doing that part. You know, you're buying a lot more time to prevent them from being able to do it. We, with the JCPOA, we're allowing them to get all the way almost to the finish line, and then if they decided to, they could actually enrich the uranium. Now, what about the inspections, right? I asked, like, okay, what was the flaws of the inspections? Well, One, they had to request access. They couldn't just go and inspect whenever they wanted to. Iran could challenge the request, and a dispute resolution process could take up to 24 days, meaning they could hide evidence, they could move stuff around, they can make sure that they could prepare for the inspection before the inspection actually happened. So it wasn't a good deal. The JCPOA, it was a bad deal, man. On top of that, we gave them a fuck ton of American dollars. You know, that's where the pallets of cash and the plane comes from. And so it was just a bad deal. And Donald Trump said, man, we're getting away with that. And his whole plan from the beginning, because this guy has been talking about the JCPOA. He's been talking about Iran. I'm sorry. He's been talking about Iran since longer than I've been born. Like, since longer than I've been alive on Earth. Since before I was born, he's been talking about Iran and saying, why are we just playing with them? Why don't we just go over there and lay it down on the table and just drop the hammer and be done with it? Why don't we just show him who's boss? That's exactly what he did. This is not a forever war. This is not a profitable war. This is a war to get shit done. And he did it. He went over there and did it. He got it done. Now we got this deal on the table. Now we're closer than ever to getting what we want, you know? And they're gonna be saying all this dumb stuff. They're gonna be saying, we already had that deal under Obama. Well, that shit would have been done already right now, so it doesn't even matter. You can't even say that talking point. Remember that. Some of this stuff would have been sunsetted already, and then other parts of it will sunset later. So what are you supposed to do? You're going to wait till the deal expires and then try to go do another one? Yeah, Donald Trump said, man, fuck all that. We're going to get a permanent deal right here, right now. All right? So he just did the impossible. He did what presidents for decades were so scared to do. And he just went ahead and did it. And he got it done. He knew America has the might to do it, and he went ahead and did it. And honestly, this isn't even all about nuclear weapons. This isn't even all about that too. You know, if you really want to be real about this is solidifying America's spot as number one on planet Earth. This is about America telling everyone who's boss. All right, we told NATO we're the boss, and fuck you guys for not helping us out. OPEC is dismantled. Now the oil supply is going to be flown all across the world. There's going to be more oil than ever on planet Earth. Oil prices are going to go down. Like, China got knocked down a peg. Iran basically got kicked off the ladder. Russia, they can't even deal with Ukraine. They don't even have the power to deal with Ukraine. And we're supposed to be worried about them? I think, you know, honestly, I kind of think that we let Ukraine deal with Russia just so we wouldn't have to worry about Russia right now. As Russia's been occupied with Ukraine because they've been trying to steal territory to get more oil for them. You know, that's kind of the whole point of why Russia wants to take over Ukraine, because they want all that oil territory. They want to be able to ship oil around without Ukraine getting in the way. And yeah, I mean, we let Ukraine stall them, and then we did all this other shit. You know, taking out Maduro from Venezuela, disrupting Cuba, just shutting down Cuba, essentially. Yeah, not to mention it depleted their weapons. Yeah. I will say Russia did get a big boost, right? They were able to sell a lot of oil during this whole conflict. So they got a lot of money out of it. I'll tell you that. But it's only temporary money, right? Because if the war's still going on and we are over with this, the Strait of Hormuz is back open, you know, Russia doesn't have that big bolster of money anymore. So now they're going to have to go back to the way they were operating before. Yeah, they got a lot of money, but it's all temporary money. It's a temporary boost, which helps them. It definitely helps them in the war against Ukraine. That's for sure. But it's, you know, as long as the war keeps on going and they still have to deplete their money in that sense, it's not like it's a permanent thing for them. It's not like it, you know, raised their power or anything like that. So they're still where they're at. But All I know is United States just went all the way to the top, man. Yeah, we simply keep winning. Okay, we showed the world who we are. We showed the world who we are, man. So it's beautiful. I love it. I think this is amazing. I think this is unfolding exactly the way we wanted it. It was a little bit messy. I mean, what do you expect, right? We're talking about dealing with Iran and basically shutting them down entirely. So it's going to get messy. It's going to be unpredictable. But I think things went the way we wanted it to. And United States, man, we were prepared for this. We were ready for it. We had the power to do it. We had the capabilities to do it. And we just got shit done. Okay, we just got it done. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is America first. This is how you put America first. Not just a couple countries here. No, this is America above all. That's what this is. This isn't America first. This is America above all. So, I love it. I think it went fucking amazing. And I think it was awesome, man. I think it was absolutely awesome. Now, somebody doesn't think it was awesome. Guess who doesn't think it was awesome? Somebody who spent many years attacking and bombing. And yes, I guess you could say Obama beat ISIS, but where are we at? By the way, let me read these real quick. We got Southern Sarsaparilla, thank you for the sunshine. Nick Beam, thank you for the thumbs up. B Brown with the stay hydrated. Absolutely, B Brown. Heavy Hook with the 100. Sting is back with the high five. Iron Cowgirl Breathe, thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate it, you guys. Your mom, yo mama, thank you for the $20. Thank you for all you do, Arturo. You are a great patriot. BG is a little, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that will never watch that turd stuff again. The UFC fights at the White House were off the chain. Yes. Thank you, your mom. Thank you. Oh, on a lighter note, how was my ice cream? It was great. I didn't even eat any of the cake and ice cream. My wife did. And my son did. I ate what did I eat? I don't even remember what I ate. Oh, I made steak and pasta yesterday. And that was glorious. Who's Big Gina again? I don't know. Who's Big Gina? No, it was great. I loved it. I was drinking beer. That's what I was doing. I went and got her cake and ice cream after y'all got to meet her yesterday. And then I came home with a case of beer, got Modelo, made some steaks real quick with some pasta on the side. Whole wheat pasta, which, you know, I used to not like whole wheat pasta, but now I can't eat the regular wheat. I only eat the whole wheat one. And yeah, you know, okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. Now, I don't know the whole thing about Obama and ISIS. Okay, I've heard that too. But again, it just seemed like a forever war that was never going to end. It was very profitable, I guess. I don't know, man. Mind you, I was still in high school when all that was unfolding, all right? Yeah, no, I love the whole wheat pasta. There's something about it. It just, you know, when you eat and then sometimes you just feel like, I guess you can say bloated or whatever, and you just feel like full. I don't like to feel full when I'm finished eating. I just like to eat enough to know I ate enough and then just walk away and let it settle. I don't like to like engorge myself to where I'm just like, oh, I can't eat anymore. You know, I don't like that shit. I used to do that a long time ago, which is why I'm so overweight now. But now I just like to eat enough to know I ate and then just say, okay, I'm done. So a lot of times I don't even finish the food on my plate now. I try to make it a point not to. I try to save some leftovers. Cauliflower is good too. I haven't had it yet. And I was also gonna try cauliflower rice. You hate that food coma? I know. But when you hit that couch and the itis sets in, But anyways, let's get to it. We got to talk about Obama. All right, we got to talk about Obama over here. So as Donald Trump has reached this historic deal with Iran that is now agreed upon, it will be signed this Friday, June 19th, right? They asked Obama over here, how do you feel about this, sir? And this is what he had to say.
Over the weekend, as you know, I sat down with former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama for an exclusive interview ahead of the opening of the Obama Presidential Center later this week in Chicago. Now, before President Trump's announcement, I asked former President Obama for his thoughts on the war with Iran. You spent a lot of time wrestling with the threat of a nuclear Iran. How do you think things are being handled right now there?
It is doubtful that any agreement that arises is going to be significantly different or a significant improvement from the deal that we had in the first place.
Yeah, okay. I got to stop right there. Because remember, we just went over this. The JCPOA was set to expire. Some parts of it were set to expire in 2025. Some parts will be set to expire in 2030. Okay, we know there was a lot of flaws with the inspections. There was too much leeway on those inspections. If Iran didn't want the inspections to happen, they wouldn't happen. You know, they gave them a 24-day time limit to like dispute it or whatever and challenge it. It wasn't just like we could go over there and knock on the door and say, "Hey, we're here. Let's see what you guys are doing." No, it was like, "Can you guys let us in?" Oh, you don't want to let us in? Okay, explain why you don't want to let us in. 25 days, a whole month goes by, and it's like, okay, now they can come in, and now all the dirty mess is cleaned up, right? So it wasn't a good deal. It's not a good deal. You have to have a permanent deal, which is what Donald Trump is going for. He wants a permanent deal forever. Okay? On top of that, he destroyed their facilities, meaning now if we have this deal set in place, they don't have a facility to just decide one day, okay, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's just enrich the uranium, you know, because we have all the capabilities. We have the uranium here. Let's just go ahead and do it. They could decide any moment that if they wanted to, they could just do it. Or they could just use the 3 point whatever uranium, the enrichment, the 3.5 enrichment they had, they could use that to make a dirty bomb if they wanted to, right? So there's always that. But Donald Trump is going for a permanent deal. No facilities, no capabilities, nothing. You will not be able to do anything nuclear at all. Okay? And that's what Donald Trump's deal is. It's much stronger. It's much solid, much more solid. It's permanent. It's indefinite. It's the end of the road for them. Okay? Much better than this flimsy little deal that Obama got set up.
And had worked for a long stretch of time before the United States pulled out of it. So I'm hopeful that bombing stops and ordinary people are no longer suffering as a consequence of the war. And then in retrospect, it's a reminder that on a lot of difficult foreign policy problems, the notion that we can just bully our way or bomb our way to solutions may sometimes seem appealing, but the fact of the matter is that taking the time to explore diplomacy and exhaust the possibilities of coming up with deals that don't solve 100% of the problem, but solve 80, 90% of the problem, while avoiding the necessity of going to war. You'd think we would have learned that lesson by now, but it seems.
So what are you trying to say exactly? Because this dude spent years bombing, I think it was Syria. I don't know where he was bombing, but I know he was bombing the hell out of other countries for years and years and years. Remember, he started bombing a place and then they had 60 days, right? Or he had 60 days to get it done. And this dude continued bombing, I think Syria, for another 7 months on top of that. And he's talking about Donald Trump bombing for a few months, or really we were only bombing them for like a month. And then we had the ceasefire for 2 months, right? So yeah, he invented the word salad. Yeah, he's doing the Kamala Harris word salad. He's saying, well, it didn't work when I did it. I don't know why Trump thinks he can do it and it's going to work. Well, guess what, Mr. President, or Mr. Ex-President, it worked. Okay, when you do it the right way, it fucking works. Now you could say, I know, you know, obviously there's, like someone said in the chat, Obama created ISIS, right? And you could say he accomplished the goal of dismantling ISIS or getting rid of ISIS, or at least making sure they couldn't own all these territories that they did own, and minimalizing ISIS to basically nothing, right? Removing all their power, destroying them. I guess you could make that argument. That's what he accomplished, but it took him for fucking ever. It took him years. I think it kept going until Trump's administration. You know, the conflict that Obama had started, or at least been in charge of. So I don't even, and I think ISIS is still around anyway. So I don't think he accomplished shit. I think he was just another one of these people, these globalists, right? That were just sticking with the forever war and just running with it. But again, this is why they don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't come in here to profit the globalists. He didn't come in here to start a forever war and just start pleasing the neocons and making sure we could profit off of the death of hundreds of thousands of American lives. No, he said, we got a goal to accomplish. All right, we got the tools to do it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a rough road. Fuck it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. He did it. And now we're talking about signing a deal this Friday. I mean, this is historic. This is stuff that's going to be talked about in the history books that changed the world forever. You know, this is establishing America at the very top forever. We were able to go in there and dismantle Iran, technically kind of a superpower, right? And we were able to knock them off the ladder entirely. All they have at their disposal is the Strait of Hormuz. So, you know, this is amazing what got done. And honestly, Obama's just probably jealous. He's probably butthurt. He knows he can't say that Donald Trump got it done. Donald Trump did something amazing. He knows he can't say that. And so he's not going to.
Seems like every so often we have to relearn that lesson again.
And again, the negotiation.
Now, I want to hear from, and look, Pete Hegseth said it best. Obama begged Iran for a deal. We bombed Iran. All right, we got it done. Now, we got JD Vance over here. I want to hear from JD Vance about this. We got to hear his side of it, okay? This is from this morning, I believe.
Deal. We're joined now by Vice President JD Vance. Mr. Vice President, good morning. It's really good to have you here.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So far, the only details we've heard have been from the Iranian officials. What can you tell us about when the administration plans to share the exact details?
Yeah, Gail, as you know, sometimes with these agreements, there are some diplomatic protocols, some technical things to work out. But we plan to release the full text this week. We want the American people to see it. But we've also seen, of course, some misreporting about what's actually in the agreement. We've seen some accurate reporting about what's in the agreement.
The IRGC came out and they announced what they think the deal is. They announced it to their media and they put it on TV and everything like that. And they made it seem like they got the sweetheart deal. There ain't no fucking way that's going to happen.
The most important thing for the American people to appreciate is that what this agreement does is really twofold. On the one hand, it ensures that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon while simultaneously opening the Strait of Hormuz. You already see oil prices from a high of $126 a barrel down to about $80 a barrel today. That's a lot of progress. But it also, Gail,
and now we just saw it's at $74 right now.
Fundamentally extends a hand to Iran and says, look, if you guys are willing to honor your obligations, if you're willing to allow real inspections of your nuclear program, then we will welcome you back into the world economy. I think what the President of the United States wants to do is turn over a leaf of 47 years of a failed relationship between the United States and Iran, but that requires the Iranians to actually honor their end of the bargain. So when people say that billions of dollars of assets will be released, that's not true. What is true is that Iran will have a much better and much more prosperous future if they meet the obligations they make in this agreement. We'll, of course, see. That's one of the things we're going to work out in the technical talks that will follow the official signing on Friday.
Mr. Vice President, it's Ed O'Keefe, and we're so glad you're here in part because, as Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said yesterday, you are the architect of this deal. So let's walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
False.
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So
remember, this is just money that we have held hostage from them, okay? Our allies in other countries are basically holding that money in their banks hostage and not allowing Iran to have it. Okay, so we're saying that if you come to terms and you do everything that's in the deal, we'll release that money back to you. It's their own money. It's their money that they have set up from oil sales and stuff like that. And yeah, if they want it, they can have it if they comply with everything in the deal. First, we are not just giving it to them and then all of a sudden tomorrow they say, fuck you, we're not going to do the deal. No, they have to do everything in the deal first. Okay. And then they can have it back. And then they can have their own money back. Again, we're cashing it in. We've held it hostage and that's the best they can get. But they're going to lie to their people and say they're giving us $30 billion. No, that's your own money that we're holding hostage from you.
We absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. So I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting, is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media, they're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
Well, then let's do that here. They say they're going to get $24 billion in frozen funds if they hit certain benchmarks. Is that true?
Well, again, Ed, we're open to a lot of things that are on the table, but that $24 billion just doesn't appear anywhere in any of the texts that we've talked about with the Iranians. What we have said is that we're willing to talk about unfreezing assets, but a much, much bigger deal is unsanctioning their economy so long as they make the long-term commitments on the nuclear program. So, again, one of the things these hardliner elements in their country are going to do is misrepresent the deal so that they can sell it to certain elements of their domestic audience. But I think, again, the text is very clear. There's nothing about $24 billion. What there is clarity about, though, Ed, is that Iran gives up their nuclear program for the long haul. They allow a real inspections regime. And then, of course, we want them to have a lot of benefits. The president has said we want them to be a successful country. Right. We want to turn over a new leaf with Iran, but that requires them to meet us in the middle.
You said a responsible how exactly then are these benchmarks going to be measured by the United States or by the international community? Who's going in to verify, for example, that all the nuclear material has been accounted for? that they're not, in fact, developing some kind of a weapon? Is it U.S. officials? Is it U.S. military forces?
We probably don't know that yet. We're not even at that point yet.
Well, it's going to be a combination, of course, of the United States monitoring and enforcing this thing, but also the IAEA, the organization that sort of has the expertise to ensure that that enriched stockpile is destroyed and that
Do you
Iran
rule out
over the
then that
long haul
U.S.
doesn't try
forces
to
might not
rebuild
be
it.
involved in this? Will U.S. ground troops go in to make sure that we have everything?
Well, look, Ed, we certainly talked with the Iranians about how we're going to destroy that enriched stockpile. The technical details are one of the things that we're going to work on when we start those technical talks on Friday. But absolutely, we're talking about working with the IAEA and working with the Iranians to go in and destroy that enriched stockpile of material. Whether we play an observer role or whether we play a more active role, these are the sorts of things that we'll figure out in technical talks. But what the president has made very clear is the United States will be there to confirm that that enriched stockpile of material is destroyed.
So you don't rule out that U.S. military forces might be part of ensuring this, that they may have to go in?
Well, how can you rule that out? We're not even at that point yet.
Well, Ed, I don't think that U.S. military forces are going to be necessary. I do think that we have some expertise on the non-military side in the destruction of nuclear material. And again, that's one of the things the president cares so much about, is ensuring they don't rebuild that enriched stockpile. And Ed, one final point on this. You know, you hear a lot of comparisons. How is this different? How is this the same from the JCPOA? I think that fundamentally misunderstands where we are. We have comprehensively destroyed their nuclear program, and this agreement is about ensuring that they don't rebuild it. The JCPOA was fundamentally about bribing them to stop the construction or to cease a nuclear program that was already in progress.
Yeah, remember with the JCPOA in place, right? They had the facilities there. They had everything they needed to make a nuclear weapon. And if they decided one day that they were going to, they could absolutely do it. But we have destroyed their facilities, and we're just like, we have to completely wiped out their ability to do it at all. And now we're sitting here making sure they can't even get the process started to do it again. Again, if they were to try to do it in secret, then it would take them a while. It would take them a long time, at least a year or so. It would take them a long time to get it done. That would give us a much bigger window to inspect and make sure that they're not actually doing it, right? It would just give us a lot more time to make sure that they're not doing it and to stop them if that's what they're actually going for.
It's a very different background, a very different sort of leverage, and I think really a different outcome for the American people.
Okay, that is one point of view, Mr. Vice President. But let me ask you this before you go. Is Israel on board with this? It doesn't appear so at this time. What are you hearing? What are you thinking?
Welcome.
Well, Gail, of course, Israel's been a good partner, but we do expect everybody in the region. They've been participating in this peace agreement. They've been participating in our talks with Iran. They understand where our perspective is. And what the president has said is that we expect everybody to honor this agreement. There are always, Gail, these bumpy moments with these ceasefires. Sometimes someone will fire and sometimes somebody responds. We think right now that there are probably people within Iran, because the internet blackout, that are not even aware that this deal has happened. So we certainly...
What are you worried about? The nuclear program has been decimated. Well, what's stopping them from building it again? Us. This deal. That's the point of this deal, is to stop them from building it again. The next administration is going to have to deal with the same thing. Well, that's the point of setting this deal up. It's a permanent deal. This is just giving us the capabilities to make sure they don't even start a new nuclear program at all.
We expect the Israelis are going to be a participant in this peace process, but we think it's going to be good for them. It's going to be good for us. It's going to be good for the Gulf Coast Coalition. And Gail, if the Iranians comply with their end of the bargain, it's going to be good for Iran. It's going to totally change their relationship with the region in a way that will generate a lot of prosperity for their people. But again, only if they meet their end of the bargain.
All right, we'll see what happens on Friday. A lot of people are saying, why don't we sign it today? But you say Friday's a day we'll all be watching.
Well, Donald Trump is heading over to the Geneva thing, right? Is it G7 or G8? I don't know what it is. Which, by the way, they're protesting outside of it. And Donald Trump, you know, he as soon as he got done with the UFC event last night, immediately hopped on the plane at 2 a.m. and flew to France. I mean, this man is a machine. It's a G7. I heard G8. I don't know where I heard G8 from, but I heard, yeah, okay, G7. Yeah, man, Donald Trump is a machine. He got all this done on his birthday, had an amazing UFC event, historic event at the White House, and this guy went straight from there, straight to a plane, and flew across the world to go handle business. This dude is insane, man. I hope he rests up so good. Like, I can't wait till Donald Trump is out of office and the man can just rest and the world will get off his nuts and the left will get off his nuts. You know, like, just let the man be in peace. Let him celebrate all he accomplished, everything he did for us. Just let him be, man. Let him embrace his accomplishments. This man conquered the world. So I love Donald Trump for that, man. But this is history in the making. We're watching it all unfold in real time. It's just, you know, everyone is going to be, I already see people on YouTube and Rumble, and they're all talking so much shit about this right now. And they're saying, no, this don't matter. This no. Yeah, it's okay. I would rather be wrong and have it blow up in my face than be a complete traitor and just predict and hope that we failed. So I'm going all the way with it. I'm backing Donald Trump. I see the deal. I understand it. I see what we're doing. I see how it's different than the JCPOA. I see how everything's unfolding. I see that I see all the different news outlets that are truthful, and I see the ones that are deceptive. And I look at everybody, man. I look at all sorts of different sources. And thankfully, though, it seems that I can trust Donald Trump. And I know he may say certain things that, you know, it may be a deception as well, but it's a deception with good intentions, right? Deceiving not just the naysayers, but deceiving Iran, who's also listening to the media and watching at his every move as well, you know? So I believe in him. I believe in him. I think he's doing everything for the benefit of America. And I think he absolutely 100% is putting America above all. Oh, thank you. You said you're one of the best spoken patriot streamers on the internet. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you all, man. Thank you all. One more thing before we go today, y'all. We got to talk about riots. All right. We got to talk about New York. What the fuck is going on in New York? If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, you guys. We got a lot to talk about tonight, too. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know what tonight's going to be and what we're going to have in store for tonight. All I do know is that I'm going to be here with y'all. And we're going to check it out. We're going to see what's going on. But I want to talk about New York City because this is an absolute mess over here. Oh, and Nick Beam, thank you for the high five. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support, you guys. I really, really do, man. Thank y'all. You know, I just had to cleanse my entire channel, right? I got rid of over 1,000 videos. I only have 27 videos on my channel now. Here's the thing. I had probably 100, I maybe had 150 videos that had either clips from BG on the scene on it or like some live footage or something like that. One of the videos he hit me with the copyright strike, we weren't even talking about his video, but it was on the screen. It was on the screen, a little bubble up here at the top, right? It was just a tiny little snippet of it. It was up there for a few minutes, and I got hit with the copyright strike because of that. Okay? And so I went through, there's so many videos that we used of his while we were live streaming, and I made tons of videos about it too. It was not safe. It was not safe for me to keep any of the videos up. So I did a mass cleansing of the channel. I said, okay, fuck it. We're just going all in. We're going to do a whole reset. We're going to reset the channel and we're going to move forward. Well, even though those videos are old videos, a lot of them were still getting views here and there. And that little bit of views was, I would call it passable income, or is it passable or what's it called? It's like income where you don't really have to do anything for it. It just kind of comes overnight, you know? What's it called? Passive. Thank you, passive. Passive income, right? With the 1,000 videos I had there, they would still get views. And so when all those videos are getting 1 or 10 or even 100 views together, that adds up to like 1,000 views every hour, regardless of what I put out, regardless of anything, right? That's just work over time. And because of that, I would still make money, even if I didn't go live or I didn't put any videos out or anything like that. It would still make money, right? Well, now I've done a full reset. I don't have that passive income anymore. And so the channel, well, let me just tell you, I'm not making nearly as much money as I was. I'll tell you that. Do I care? Not really. I'm just happy to have the channel. That's the main thing. Okay, we still got the channel. We're still killing it. But damn, man, two years of hard work, and now we only got 27 videos. I'm excited though. I'm excited because I love the journey of building, creating. And yes, we got over this road hump, but it was either we lose the channel and I take a risk at keeping that passive income, or we just do a full reset and be safe and in the clear. And right now we're safe, we're in the clear, and now we can just keep moving forward. Okay. Now, for sure, I'm making sure before I react to anybody or anything like that, I make sure it's with a channel that I can trust and that I have permission from to stream, right? Because I mean, I told you guys, I had messaged BG on the scene months ago. He never responded. A simple no, please don't use my content would have been just fine. I would have never used his content. I emailed him multiple times. I sent him money with cash apps and super chats, hoping he would respond. That didn't work. I sent him DMs on X. That didn't work. So he just never responded. He just ghosted me. And I said, okay, whatever. You know, everyone else is using his content. I might as well use it too. No one else seems to be getting copyright strikes. I might as well use it too. So I went ahead and tried it. And then months down the line, I said, okay, well, here we are. Nothing we could do now, right? Hit me with 2 copyright strikes, one after another. And I said, nope, I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything and do a full reset on both channels, by the way. Both channels had a hard reset. So, yeah, I mean, it could have been a setup, you know. But now everything's gone. He can't hit me with anything yet, or I don't think he can anyways. But either way, good. Whatever. Let him do his thing. We're going to do our thing, and we're going to keep on moving forward. And that's it. But you know what? We're going to grow, and we're going to expand, and we're going to become bigger than ever, no matter what the fuck happens, all right? Y'all can knock me down, but I'm always going to get back up, and I'm always going to keep pushing forward, man. And that's it. We're going to keep on growing. This channel is going to be 10 times bigger than BG ever fucking wanted his channel to be. And I could have helped him, but you know, oh fucking well. Too fucking bad. Now we're just going to move on up. All right. And we're going to do it without him. So there's that. But I want to talk about these riots. Okay. Now here's the thing too. I just have to tell you guys, I might not be able to, live stream certain riots, but we'll definitely do a recap on them. Yeah, I saw it. I saw he was doing a live stream on the UFC fight. He was out there in the crowd, which is really good for him, man. I like seeing his channel is growing, you know. I love to see it. We helped that dude get to over 1,000 subscribers in one night, and that's the power of the Daily Discourse, man. We can bring people up with us, and I fucking love it. That's why I do this, to build a community, to raise people up, to get the message stronger than ever, and that's what we do, man. Yeah, I guess technically I could do all that, but I need the channel to be a lot bigger. And honestly, I don't want to, my channel was never about watching protests and watching riots and stuff like that. It's fun. I like it. But what we're doing right now, the show you're watching right now, this is what I like doing. I like talking about important shit. Yeah, I know the other stuff is really entertaining, but this is what I started the show for. So I can give you guys the truth, the real news, you know, the stuff that the left doesn't want you to see. That's my new slogan. I bring you the truth and the real news that the left doesn't want you to see. And this is what I love doing, man. I love talking about this stuff. And so I'm just going to stick with this. This is what I love doing. And I know it's not going to go viral or anything like that. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe there's too much information. Maybe it's not as fun. There's not enough fart noises. There's not enough goat noises. But, you know, this is what I started the channel for. This is what the Daily Discourse has always been. And I'm just going to stick with it, man. This is what I love doing. But with that being said, let's get into the last one, and I'll let you guys go. We'll be back tonight. Don't worry about it. We'll be back tonight, guys. I actually got to take my son to his grandma, who just got back from Egypt. But let's talk about New York, all right? Let's get to it. Oh, whoops. Wild animals. Now keep in mind, this what you're watching is before the game even ended. This is before the game even ended, y'all. They were already rioting. Here comes the police. These wild animals just wanted an excuse to riot. Whether they won or lost the game, they were just going to riot anyways. Now, this was on Saturday. Now, the left comes in many different shades, many different colors, many different types of people, right? We're so used to the rabid white liberals that we forgot about the hood ratchet left, okay? The hood ratchet left, that's what we're looking at right now. 10 times more destructive. And when the whole BLM riots were happening, it was a combination of both. Right? It was the white liberals coming together with the hood ratchet left, and they were just wreaking havoc across the country. Right now, though, you have a division, right? Notice how when the Carmelo Anthony thing happened, we were all worried riots were going to start and protests were going to be happening all across the country again. It was different, though. You know why? Because the hood ratchet left didn't have the white rabid liberals to push them along. They didn't come together. They didn't unite. Instead, they were off divided, doing their own thing. And the hood ratchet left, they didn't really care. They didn't really care. Now they're back to complaining. Now they're back to watching the little sports with their, they love watching dudes bounce balls around. You know, that's all they got. So the left is completely decimated. They are completely shattered, divided more than ever. And us on the right, yeah, we got a little sliver of groypers and these far right extremists that have dipped from our MAGA movement, but we don't really care. We're moving past them, and we are much bigger than that group. Okay, so we're winning. But New York, man, was under siege, and yet nobody wants to talk about it. They just want to talk about how grand of a celebration this was, because this was, as Mom Donnie called it, a peaceful celebration. In his words,
the New York Knicks are NBA champions for the first time in 53 years. And after all that waiting, their loyal fans, oh boy, they were ready to celebrate.
Celebrate, baby.
That was the scene when the final buzzer sounded at a watch party at Radio City Music Hall and take a look at what the city looked like from above. This is
beautiful, peaceful,
flooding the streets to take it all in. Captain Jalen Brunson led the Knicks in the final game with a heroic performance. He scored 45 points to close out the series on the road in San Antonio. It was not a friendly audience there. Stephen A. Smith had this to say about Brunson on ESPN after the game.
Well, guess what? Now that a 6'1" guard who's not the most athletic above the rim, dude, that ain't his game. Just savvy, brilliant as a basketball savant, footwork extraordinaire. That guy at 6'1" led this team, and in a closeout game 5, drops 45.
CBS News' Jared Hill has more on the big sports headlines from this weekend. Jared, you enjoyed this from a rooftop in Midtown, so you had one of the best seats in town.
The view was insane. I saw you doing some backflips in this.
Yeah, that's great and all. I don't really care about that. What I wanted to show you, though, is that the news is completely ignoring all the crazy riots. But don't worry, we're not. All right. Now, first of all, there was a dumbass streamer recording herself, streaming herself. And she got arrested immediately. It's the Asian girl on top of this car. Nothing is better than when the left records himself breaking the law. What an idiot. She can't even get down. Oh, she's worried about being arrested.
I can't get out. Can you help me? How did you get out? I climbed someone.
Is that a man?
Can you help me? Can you help me?
Oh, that's a man. That's a man 100%. Yeah. There's the FO. There's the find out part. Oh, now he's crying. Asian on Asian crime. Don't you don't you love it? But that wasn't even the worst of it. Now this right here. These animals, man, these absolutely out of control animals, burn these buses down, destroy them, vandalize them, just completely total them for no reason. Just for the sake of being wild, rabid animals. This is insane. And now they're just, yay! Yeah, Knicks at 5, y'all. I don't know what's worse, the rabid liberal white people or the ghetto ratchet left. They're both just as evil, right? Now, here's the bus driver. Why are they doing this? Just for some context, these are the buses that were bringing viewers to the FIFA World Cup, which wasn't. It was in It's like in New Jersey, New York. I think maybe it was in Madison Square Garden. I don't know. It was somewhere in the area. And so these buses were bringing people in to watch the FIFA World Cup. It's so dumb. It's like, why are they even doing this? And Mom Donnie says it's just a peaceful celebration. You know, I thought New York was taken over by the Muslims, right? Where are they at? Okay, well, the bus driver speaks out here in the end. Let's see, where's he at? Right here. So that's the bus driver right here with the hat. This guy right here with the hat. This is his bus, his own personal bus, hired by this company. He's having a panic attack. He don't know what the hell's going on. They tell him to shut the fuck up. I'm surprised they didn't beat the hell out of him. Wild animals. You know what? No, that's an insult to the zoo, right? That's an insult to the animals at the zoo. But they torched the bus too, man.
Let's go!
That's fucked up. Has Mom Darnie spoke out at all? Glad you asked.
The city has been electric all morning, and now we're looking at the ticker tape parade.
New York City will host the champs on Thursday.
This is Mom Donnie's response.
Reporter Jaysha Patel interviewed the mayor one-on-one at Gracie Mansion just a little while ago. Take a listen.
I mean, this team, it's incredible. And to be in the finals for the first time since '99, for it to be Jalen Brunson, who led us last night, has been leading us all season, Captain Clutch, the son of Rick Brunson, who was in the last Knicks team, who lost to the Spurs 4-1, and now we beat the Spurs 4-1. It just feels like this beautiful full circle moment.
This dude is still drunk.
But for the entire city. And, you know, it is a beautiful thing that the city feels like the nation's largest city has become the world's smallest town. All of us thinking about the same thing.
When I'm talking to people, I ask them, have you ever seen anything like this unite the city? Because it seems like it just brought
that stupid smile
together. What are your thoughts seeing everyone together celebrating, kind of coming together to cheer the Knicks on?
It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen as a New Yorker. And, I was reading a piece this morning that wrote about how oftentimes in our city's history, this kind of unity comes in a moment of tragedy. And it's so beautiful that this unity is coming in a moment of joy, and that we are coming together not only of our hopes of this team, but our hopes of the city. And the team, frankly, reflects the city. The relentlessness, the drive, the hustle, the never give up. And you look at the stories of each of these individual players, so many of them were overlooked at different points in their careers. And Mike Brown built a team where every single player had a role. And even over the course of the finals, we saw different players show up for this team, show up for the city. And as a city, we can't wait to show up for all of them now.
Anything you can tell us about the parade on Thursday? I mean, how's the planning process? Do you know when we're going to learn about the timing of it all?
So we're going to be sharing some additional details over the next few days, but it is going to be on Thursday. There's going to be a ceremony at City Hall. Then there's going to be a ticker tape parade, the first time in Knicks history. And we're also going to be presenting keys to the city to the team.
And I imagine
oh, yeah.
It's a big operation. Everyone in town with the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of fans here to see the parades. I'm sure it'll be a big security plan, right, going into that.
Absolutely. And I do want to just say thank you to the men and women of the NYPD who've been such a critical part of not only keeping New Yorkers safe over the course of this finals run, but also are going to be an integral part of our preparations for the parade. And I can tell you that as a fan, I haven't wanted to jinx it, but as the mayor, we've been preparing for all these logistics.
As the mayor, I've been preparing for all this. This dude is an absolute fucking joke, man. This dude is an absolute joke. New York, what on earth were y'all thinking voting this guy in? He looks like he just came out of the whole crowd that we just saw destroying the bus, and they just put a little suit on him, put a blazer on him, and said, all right, you're the mayor now. He's like, oh, yeah? On God? All right, yeah, I'm the mayor. I'm the mayor of this bitch. Yeah. So yeah, the police. Yeah, thank y'all. Stupid. That was fake. Actually, the Epstein Files thing, the picture of her holding him or whatever as a baby. I think that was all fake. That was an AI thing. But regardless, like, this dude is not prepared to handle a city like New York. He left those cops out there abandoned. Like, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I'm sure they were probably told, you better not be impeding on any rights. Don't go out there acting like police. Just make sure nobody dies, you know? Because the cops, they were so disorganized, man. They were so, it was so much chaos. They had no idea what they were doing. There was, it's not that they didn't know what they were doing. It's just that it was so out of control that there was no way they were going to wrangle that shit in. At the very least, you know, they were just trying to make sure people didn't die. They were just trying to make sure that, I don't know what they were trying to make sure of. When I was watching the live streams of it and other videos about it, it's like the police just were so overwhelmed. There was just nothing they could do. And this guy is talking about, yeah, we're prepared. We're prepared for it. You know, no, the city was an absolute chaos. It was an absolute pandemonium. It was no control. It was just wild animals everywhere lashing out. And he had he just didn't say nothing about it. He's like, yeah, whatever. It was so fun. It was great. It was a nice, peaceful celebration. We were so unified. He's just lucky there wasn't more deaths. He's just lucky that there wasn't stories of 17 people getting shot. Like, he's just lucky it wasn't a Chicago headline. Because if it was, then it would definitely have blown up in his face. But, you know, apparently nobody died. Somebody did get shot. There was a kid there was someone that got shot in the foot, a 17-year-old kid that got shot in the foot, and they arrested 6 people that were, I guess, in the vicinity or something, or people of interest. I don't know. But somebody did get shot in the foot. Okay, shots did go out. We're just lucky it wasn't, you know, 7 people shot, 4 kids dead, like some Chicago headline, right? He's just lucky he didn't get that. But man, yeah, it was straight Gotham City insanity. I don't know why you put these children in charge. He is not someone that should be in charge of New York City. I can't believe that they actually used this guy. That they actually made this guy the mayor. And then you got Katie Wilson in Seattle. I think Brandon Johnson's the worst mayor on planet Earth and in American history. Okay, I think Brandon Johnson by far is the worst mayor in American history. I think Katie Wilson is a second one right behind her. I think she's so overwhelmed. She has her handlers telling her what to say for questions. She has them shutting them. Don't ask her that. She don't know the answer. Don't ask her that. Shut this interview down. Yeah. Karen Bass. I think she's up there with competence, but I think hers is more intentionally done. I think hers is more, she wants to dismantle LA. She wants to make it a zesty capital, just like San Francisco is. You know, I think she just likes the chaos and mayhem, and she just wants that to be done. But Katie Wilson, I think, is just completely incompetent, way in over her head. She's losing companies. You know, Amazon is talking about packing up and getting the hell out of there. Some of the biggest companies in our economy have started in Seattle, you know, and they're dipping. All these big ass companies are packing up their wealth and they're getting the hell out of Seattle. And that's unheard of for them to be leaving that fast, this fast, 6 months into her term, you know, it's completely unheard of. But Seattle is definitely going to fall off, man. It's going to fall off. It's going to be just rubble. They're going to be under rubble by the end of next year. They're going to be in really, really, really bad shape. At least Bass, you know, at least she kind of, she doesn't destroy LA to the point of, you know, having companies flee and their economy crumble beneath them. She kind of keeps it, to where she's holding it together, but she's also still being very woke and progressive and shutting down the police. You know, it's kind of like the same thing going on in Minneapolis, right? It's still there. It's still being held together. They're not under, I wouldn't say like massive billion-dollar budget deficits. Like I think Seattle was in a $500 or $400 million budget deficit. You know? Yeah, you know, yeah, you know, Karen Bass, she just burned the hell out of the city. I don't know, man. What I mean, I guess, is that LA is still going strong, even though she set it on fire, even though it's still a hellhole. It's still going strong, but LA is falling apart at record time. New York City, you know, you have some billionaires leaving, some billionaires refusing to go to New York City, but because it's such a rich city, it's going to take a long time to really feel the effects of Mom Donnie. And who knows? Listen, guys, Mom Donnie might be the mayor for 10, 15 or 10, 16 years. He may be the mayor of New York City until this dude's 50 years old. I don't think New York City people are going to wake up. I don't think Seattle people are going to wake up. I think liberals are going to keep voting for him simply because he fights for mutilating children's genitals and woke progressive shit and free grocery stores that will never happen. As long as he keeps giving them that good promise, they're going to keep voting for him. They don't even care about the results. They just care about the fantasy being sold to them. And he sells a damn good fantasy. He run a great campaign. You can't take that away from Mom Donnie. He run a great campaign. He knew what the voter base was. He knew how to sell it to them. And he sold them the dream. Now it doesn't even matter. Now he's in office. Now he's got the power. It don't even matter, right? So, yeah. New York City is cooked. LA is a dump. Shit all over the streets. It's a literal toilet. I mean, it's a literal toilet. The one hope y'all had was Spencer Pratt, and they kicked his ass out. But he is coming for him. I'll tell you that, man. He is going scorched earth on LA, and I think he's the best thing that could ever happen to LA. But you know, Seattle is going to crumble harder than ever. I'm gonna talk about Seattle more. We haven't talked about Seattle that much, but I've been watching it. I've been watching the news fallout from Katie Wilson's rise, and she is a whole mess, y'all. She is a whole mess. Yeah, Seattle is quickly turning into a dump. I mean, at rapid pace. So it's pretty crazy how fast it's falling apart. But we're going to talk about it a little bit later, man. We're going to talk about it later. New York City, sorry, y'all. It's over. It's a wrap. Let me get to these last super chats, and I'll send you guys off. Nick Beam, thank you for the high five. B Brown with the high five as well. Nick Beam with the flow state. I don't know what that is, but all right. Gold coin from Mindy Michelle. Thank you so much. Beagle Mom with another $20. That's $70 for the show. Oklahoma City came together when we won for the first time last year. No riots. Absolutely. That actually was a peaceful celebration, huh? Tracy, thank you for the $20. I've been watching your channels for several months now. I just want to let you know we appreciate what you do and we'll continue to be here, man. Thank you guys. This YouTube journey has been a phenomenal journey, guys. It's been amazing. I love every second of it. The down points, the up points, I don't care. I just love the whole journey. I love that my Daily Discourse family is here with me, man. I love you guys so fucking much. They're saying over 2 billion people worldwide watch the UFC Freedom 250. Yeah, it was a masterpiece, honestly. It was the music too. I didn't even talk about the music, but the fact they had a live band there and they were able to perform all the songs, like it was just a masterpiece, y'all. We have never had a White House event like that, as unique as that was, as spectacular as that was. Huge shout out to UFC and TKO for even funding that and doing that. Massive. It makes me want to watch the UFC now. I don't typically watch UFC, but I was telling my wife, I said, man, look, we might have to start watching every Saturday. It might become a Saturday ritual for us to start watching the UFC. But you know what? I'm always here with you guys on Saturdays, so we might have to just continue that too. Might have the UFC pulled. I might have to get a TV out here and just watch the UFC while I'm watching with you guys. Yeah. Okay. So which one? Did you see the Bud Light advertisement everywhere? I was wondering about that. So the UFC, I guess, works with Bud Light. And I saw the Bud Light commercial and I was like, Bud Light? Had to give it a side eye. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Of all the commercials to be put up there, a Bud Light commercial? I did see one commercial where a dude was like, he's like, is that Bud Light? Oh, let's try it out. Like he touched the Bud Light can or Bud Light box and then he turned zesty. Are you gay? And then he had him touch like the Miller Lite or something like that. And then he was like, oh man, again. That was a good commercial. That wasn't even a commercial. It was just like a little skit on TikTok or something. But that was funny. But I was surprised to see the Bud Light commercial, really. I think that was the closest thing to a woke commercial that we got. And it wasn't really a woke commercial at all, but it's like the closest thing, right? Yeah, it was great because there wasn't no weird ass tranny up there. Like where is it? like this thing right here.
This is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
Are you gay?
God love you.
This is my
God love you. God love you. God love you.
Day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
This is my 221st.
Oh, I love you guys, man. Listen, great morning stream. I just feel so good, I just feel good, man. I hope you guys feel good too. I got to take my son over to his grandma's house, finally get some time alone with the wife. We're definitely going to enjoy it. All right. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll probably be back on tonight. We'll see what's going on tonight. And if not, we'll just touch on some topics and do whatever we got to do. But I love you guys, man. I appreciate y'all. Arturo for president. Maybe if I make it to age 70, maybe we'll talk about it. I don't know. But I love you guys, man. I appreciate y'all so much. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right. Y'all take it easy, guys.
Somebody once asked Donald Trump, how do you handle being at the center of all of this media attention, the whirlwind around you? How do you weather the storm? And he looked up and he said, I am the storm. I am the storm.